Hey, what is going on, everybody? It's Weather with Jonathan here, back again with another daily weather forecast. I hope all of you guys are having a great day out there and enjoying your nice warm weather across the country. It is very warm across the country, and we do, yes, have a fire risk because it's obviously warm, it's windy, but yeah, so I hope all of you guys are having a great day, staying safe. And in this video, we're going to be going over a severe weather outbreak that could take place on Friday in eastern Kansas, back through northern Texas, and we're going to be going into looking at what's going to happen with our upcoming rainy season for the West Coast, and what's going to be happening in terms of tropical weather because it is ramping up a little bit, but we're still not expecting full blown tropical storms, hurricanes, stuff like that just quite yet. So, first, let's go over our current weather because that's what we do. We have to go over our current weather, and also, cool satellite imagery has come in from like Minnesota, Wisconsin area. It's like it just shows like complete crystal clouds is what it looks like. But yeah, so we have just a little rain moving into upstate New York, this sort of area right in there, just generally that area. We also do have this subtropical low off the coast of Louisiana hanging down in the Gulf of Mexico. This is going to bring some gusty winds, maybe a little bit of rain, maybe even some flooding down there. And we also have a big fire risk for just the entire central U.S. and the northern U.S. Then we're going to have some snow and a snowstorm hit the mountains of Montana pretty soon. So let's also go over our current weather hazard because it's pretty active, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. It's not showing all the active like stuff, but we have a bunch of fire weather watches in across this area, and then all these are hydrologic outlooks. So that's like water outlooks basically, and then there's red flag warnings for up from all the way from northeastern New Mexico to northwestern Iowa or southern South Dakota. And then we have more actually in the northeast, ranging from Vermont or upstate New York down all the way through Long Island. So this is a pretty big fire risk across the entire country. And don't worry, because you guys in the South, you're definitely not going to be dealing with any fire related stuff at all. But for you guys in the central and northern U.S., it's just going to expand. And that's where we have that fire risk also come into play for about here, that area for tomorrow. So now let's begin talking about our severe weather and our upcoming severe weather outbreak. So you can see this is our dew points. There's just moisture hanging around the U.S. Now, what's good about the subtropical low in the Gulf of Mexico is that is preventing moisture from really rising. But then this is going to start moving out of our way for the deep, deep south, and it's going to interfere with this storm system. And you guys can probably notice one thing first. Yes, there's a lot of moisture in place for the entire eastern majority of the country, but most of that moisture is hanging out around in this circle, and that's where most of our thermodynamics are, right in that circle. So we're going to have a severe weather potential for that area. It could even be some significant severe weather. Those dew points continue to rise, and you can see right here, just right down there in that little area, you can see it just turns to blue in the scan, and that's indicating that thunderstorms could just explode. Now listen, there's only one partial problem with this, is that the European model is supporting it showing a cap in place, and the GFS is not really showing a cap at all in place. So there's kind of a little uncertainty about this, but we still are a lot more confident than we were yesterday about this because they had added a new severe risk for that day. So now let's also just take a look at how much CAPE we have. This is basically like adding gasoline into a car. we definitely have enough CAPE in this circle right here. So we have roughly about 500 to 2,000 joules. So yeah, and also you can definitely call it joules per kilogram. And this is gonna just be insane. And that severe weather potential could actually ramp back up again Saturday, and maybe even some isolated severe potential, maybe a marginal to slight threat of severe weather across this entire portion of the eastern United States Atlantic region. So you should also watch out there. And then let's just take a look at our wind shear, because we have the potential for tornadoes. So I have to bring up the wind shear. So listen, it's moderate wind shear. The wind shear in the latest scan decreased like 1 knot, just like barely any, but it still is fairly strong. It's about 35 to 50 knots, so that it will support a moderate environment for tornadoes. And I'm just going to say, if this goes to an enhanced threat, I really don't necessarily think this will be for tornadoes, but it depends, because the models will change a lot. I guarantee you. They have never not changed in a 4 day radius, okay? They will change. So either this is going to stay the same, go higher, or go lower. So we do not know. But you know what we do know is that we have a severe risk. And that's a slight risk right here. You see it from southeastern Kansas all the way back through northern Texas, from basically the Dallas Fort Worth metro area all the way up through just about Manhattan, Kansas, or the Kansas City area. So Kansas City, I'd still be watching for some severe weather. And listen, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this got extended all the way up into Kansas City, because I'm starting to see a little more severe potential up there. But it's still hard to predict what they're going to do with this outlook. And I really do not think they'll issue an enhanced risk, but if they do, it will probably be more for hail and damaging winds. Tornadoes will still be a threat, but it won't be as high as hail and damaging winds. So now let's take a look at our atmospheric river in the West Coast. And listen, the latest model run has, yes, been showing multiple atmospheric rivers again for California. So I really hope you guys get a breakdown there. And yeah. And listen, the way the jet stream is set up, it's more set up for atmospheric rivers to more strike this portion of the West Coast, but we still need to take notes that some of these storms will take aim at California. And listen, most of them are going to be in Northern California, so I really wouldn't worry in Central California. But if these do actually happen, I will cover this for you guys. So you can see, there are multiple atmospheric rivers that are going to be bringing some very heavy rain. And then this is what I'm talking about with the atmospheric river in California again. Now, most of it is going to be in the Pacific Northwest, but yes, you guys will get some in California, I think. But the models are going to change a lot, so it doesn't mean you guys will, but it means you guys definitely have a shot at it. So this is just a look at how much moisture is in the air, basically, and this is like kind of like humidity, just about. So yeah, it's gonna be humid with these storms. It's gonna bring a lot of water with it, so we really gotta prepare for that. And then this is a look at our rainfall totals. It could definitely get pretty significant in the mountains of California, like 4 to 10 inches from this model. Okay, you guys, it doesn't mean that every model is showing this. The European model could be showing a completely different situation for the Sierras and much of California. It could be showing like this entire shot of rain in like Northern California, maybe even Oregon. It could be showing a completely different opinion from this. So let's also go ahead and take a look at our tropics. Now listen, I'm just gonna say, you guys can probably notice one thing in this model run. There's a lot of tropical systems that looks like they're going to be working its way through the U.S. And listen, I just want to tell you guys, I very likely doubt that any of this will happen. Because, look. It was showing a tropical system over here. Now it's showing a tropical system over here. Now it's showing a tropical system over here. So listen, you guys, this is over 300 hours out. I really do not think this is going to happen, okay, you guys? So I really wouldn't worry about this happening. This is very likely not to happen. So I don't want you guys to be like, oh, is a hurricane going to strike my area? Well, just don't worry about that yet. I will keep you updated. And if these models keep showing this and this actually happens, I will be very surprised. But guess what? I will give you daily updates about this. So, yeah, and then also just to look at our precipitation because we have a bunch of just subtropical lows in the deep south. You guys are going to be getting a lot of rain down here in southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and southeastern Louisiana. And I'm going to be honest, I think this could increase or decrease or just stay the same because New Orleans, I really do think you could get 5 inches. So it's going to be very active for you guys. So thank you guys for coming and watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yes, if you haven't already watched my video of the hypothetical hurricane season for 2100 and 2045, you should definitely go check that out. What are you doing if you haven't? You should definitely check that out. So, yeah, you should go check that out, and I'll see you in my next video.